Hello, hello. Okay, now we're going to talk about one of the more important subjects ever, the High Priestess. Okay, so of course we've already talked about how Mother Mary is the High Priestess. That's why she wears sky blue, which is the color of the High Priestess. And what that means. Okay, here's the High Priestess in some decks. The famous Crowley, the Thoth deck. She's called the Priestess. Corresponding Hebrew character is Gimel. So we've talked about how the pathway that connects the self, number 6, to number 1, the top of the Sephirot, that connects us the single path, the quickest path to connecting with what's divine within, is the High Priestess. And that's the corresponding Hebrew character is Gimel, which means camel. So it's like a camel takes you on a journey. Her job is to connect you with what's divine. Mary takes you to Jesus. This is in the Tarot of the Druids. You can see she's with her little cute bunny rabbit. Here's the Tarot of the Lord of the Rings. Here's the Goddess Tarot. Each has a different goddess for every card. It's pretty creative. That one has a different Celtic deity for every card. That one connects different parts of the Lord of the Rings trilogy into the tarot. Okay, this is perhaps the best one. This is the Tarot of the Sephirot, the High Priestess. So her corresponding planet is the moon. You can see the moon above her. You can see the Hebrew character Gimel up above her head. And you can see the camel down there. And she connects with water, brings us to our emotional depth between the two pillars, black and white. She's in between black and white. Okay, so the thing with the High Priestess is she's the little girl inside of all of us that still believes in the magic of the forest. That's perhaps one of the things that I love about her the most. See the sky blue? She wears sky blue. She's the High Priestess. That's why there's all this emphasis on Mary being a virgin. Obviously, that's a lot of what's Mother Mary is like. Like everything else in the Bible is like 70-80% fiction. It's a myth. It's mythology. The myth of Mary is what we go to. Like this card. You really think that there's something, a goddess that looks just like that? No, it's a symbol. Magic is creating links within, so you connect to things that are spiritual within. It's a language. That's what the Kabbalah is all about. So the High Priestess is the symbol of connecting with the little girl inside that still believes in fairies and dragons and the magic of the forest, and us, that innocence, the virgin, the High Priestess, so like everything is a personal thing, for a woman it might be extra personal as a female, but still all the cards are things that are inside of all of us. All the pathways and all the Sephirot are a part of all of us. Who we really are transcends gender. Transcends sex and gender. And with sex magic, like it can be confusing as a trans woman. As a transgender person, being the third and fourth gender can be confusing. You know, for a cis woman, it can be very clear, you know. But still, if a cis woman needs to remember that Jesus said on the cross, you know, behold thy mother, you know, she's all of our mother. She takes all of us to Jesus. You know, she's the camel. She takes us from 6 to 1 and connects us to what's divine. She's the Buddha. You know, so she's for all of us. So it's not like something that you have to be. You don't have to be a cis woman or a little girl even. It's something that's inside of all of us, you know. So it's the moon is perhaps the most powerful thing in magic because, you know, everything's made out of water. You know, the moon affects the tides of the sea, and we have blood inside of us. You know, we're made out of mostly water, and so it affects us and it affects everything, you know, because everything's made out of water. You know, so a woman would be extra close to the moon because of her menstrual cycles, and I learned to appreciate that. For a while, I was on I'm not just on estrogen as a trans woman and blockers blocking the testosterone, but I'm also for a little while I was on testosterone, or I mean, sorry, I was on for a while I was on progesterone. A trans woman might go on that because how women's boobs can get bigger after pregnancy. It might make your boobs bigger, but it also might make them smaller or just not work, you know, with cis women. But it's the same with trans women. I was hoping it would make my boobs bigger. It didn't work, so I stopped taking it. But what you do is it's the emotional side of a woman's menstrual cycle. So it simulates that. So 1 week out of every month, I would take progesterone for 7 days every month to simulate that. And it says, you know, it's like one of the big things, not all trans women can even handle it, you know, emotionally. If they start feeling suicidal and it's too emotionally intense, they're supposed to not take it. For me, it was a very interesting experience. I did get extra close with the moon. Remember, it was like, was that like 8 years ago, whatever, that blood moon that was on the news. It was a big deal, you know. It was that exact time. For me, that seemed like more than just a coincidence, you know, because I'm really close with the moon. It's a little egocentrical to think it was happening just for me, but I was tempted to think that I was, because and before that I was already close with the moon, and I'm even closer now because of it. So I do respect that, you know, but it's all just a personal thing. And it's a really important part of magic, the moon and the high priestess and just the whole thing. It really is it's the powerful part of magic. So it can be confusing. This next video, you'll hear a woman talk about how a woman is the high priestess. You know, that's fine. That's her perspective. You know, it's even better if she remembers that that all the cards are within all of us. You know, and that's just really just for her. But it's also interesting as a trans woman because you live the life of a woman and you have a female sex drive and female hormones and all that comes with the hormones and just you know, especially if you like men like me, if you're a heterosexual trans woman that you know that likes men, it you play that role, you live that role every day in your dreams and in your thoughts and your feelings and your hormones and your drives and everything. And so your relationship, it applies to you, you know. It's just that, you know, like people don't think of that, but when it's you, you got to think of that, you know, just with all sex magic in general, you know. Sex magic puts all this emphasis on the uterus and things like that, and you don't have a uterus and you don't have menstrual cycles and everything, but you just have to, everything in magic and everything with the tarot deck and the Kabbalah, it's all about personalizing it anyway. It's not that hard to just personalize it and figure it out. And as a trans woman, you can find yourself extra connected and extra focused on You know, that's an extra powerful symbol for you too, but it really should be a powerful symbol for everything. Mary's for everybody, you know, like Jesus said, you know, behold thy mother, as he's dying on the, one of his last words, dying on the cross, you know, putting this emphasis on his mom, and that she's everyone's mother, and a symbol to be used thus, you know. So it's a powerful thing as a witch.